kind of hard to find because it's like 30 videos of just like gameplay and like one video that's like 10 minutes of me talking. But
I think if you just look at even your own content, like look at this video. Okay, so they're basically posted around the same time. Will this deck get Treasure Cruise banned in Pioneer? Versus is Jeskai Ascendancy still best friends with Emery? One did 5 times better than the other.
yeah,
Because you typed in all caps, banned in Pioneer. Will this deck get banned in Pioneer? Is really interesting to people that play Magic. It's still very specific to people that play Magic, right? But here's another video. So we say Modern and Vintage Challenge 11 to 2019, right? Again, another uninteresting title. Go over here. Sultai is the best deck in Pioneer! Exclamation mark. Literally 3 times the views. You see a trend here, right?
Yeah.
What's happening is you need to think a lot about your narrative. Do you understand what I mean by narrative?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the way you tell your story. Were you online to hear my story about the Courage video?
I don't think I was online. I ended up watching around half of the video actually before I started the talk.
Yeah, so last night I was up till 3 a.m. thinking about this title. Okay, and the title of the video that I was going to go with was why Courage leaving Twitch will change reveals the future of streaming. Okay, and that was the title I was going to go with. And then one of my friends who is a really astute YouTuber, Gaming Curios, came in and said, dude, make it why Courage leaving Twitch will change everything. And I actually thought that this was going to be too vague for people to attach to. Because the theme of the video is about why I suspect YouTube will dominate in the next 2 to 5 years, and it's a good video to that end. So the first title reveals the future of streaming, basically tells that story. The second title tells a less like, I would say, specific story. It's much more vague, but as a result, the growth rate for the video was 934% more in the first 2 hours than any other video we've ever created. So what it shows you, the lesson here, right, is that it's 2 things. One, if you have gone down and thought that you are doing the stupidest possible content possible, make it even stupider, and it will do better. Secondly, there is really no limit. Like, how you frame your story, right, is so much more important than anything else. And I'm at the point now where I will spend at least as much time thinking about the way that I frame content than I will the actual content.
Yeah. I do somewhat think that, like, especially with certain videos and streams and stuff, that like content is like a lot less important than like how you actually show yourself or present, as well as like what timing you have.
Your number one KPI needs to be like, number one, like, go into Adobe Spark, learn how to make like a halfway decent thumbnail, paste a picture of a card on it. If it's Sultai, post a picture of green blue. If it's Azorius, post a picture of like a white and a blue mana card and like a griffin or something. And and then you are already experimenting with titles. I think this is really good. You could have said Sultai is the best deck in Pioneer, and I would say the most useful thing that we went over was when I said like 100% win rate Sultai deck crushes Pioneer full guide. Literally write this YouTube title, do a halfway decent shit thumbnail, and see what happens. Yeah.
Because I've actually had people in like real life tell me they were looking for certain videos on Magic. They're like, they saw my videos. They were just like, that title is just like, is all caps, showed in like the top thing. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty interesting. So I tried to be more like you can see like if you go lower, there's not like any all caps, and slowly more videos are like all caps, exclamation points, like is this broken? Not like trying to be like actually descriptive of the video necessarily.
Yep.
Just I like thought for a long time to myself, I was just like, oh, I don't want to play the game of just like trying to get clicks, trying to do this and like
no.
trying to
Here's
get
how you have to look
stuff.
at it. Okay.
Yeah.
I will literally provide you so much value that it is literally to your benefit that I trick you to click on my video. All right, like if I trick you to click on my video, you will get so much out of it that it's to your benefit. I will literally waterboard you in a video game to watch my video because you will get so much benefit out of it. That's how you need to think about your content.
Yeah. I came over the hump and went like, okay, I should be doing this so that like more people can actually see my content, because just like doing like the regular plain Jane YouTube titles with no thumbnails is going to be just like really slow growing, hard to find type of content. Whereas just, you know, the clickbait is much better.
It's also like the other way I do this is like it's the same mental gymnastics I use to sell people products. It's like you will pay me $50 for this personal development product because it will not be worth it to you if I give it to you for free. And I'll tell you, dude, like the number one problem that I think I run into when I coach young entrepreneurs is they just don't think, they're just not willing to like actually put themselves out there. So you know what the number one problem is for entrepreneurs that are like bookkeepers or they're doing some kind of single service for someone? They undercharge. They're like, you know, my time is worth like $25 an hour, when their time is easily worth 50 to 100 for people that are doing way better work for like way worse work, excuse me, and they're charging like 4 or 5 times more. So like you can go to like a bookkeeping firm and you can pay, you know, $100 an hour for bookkeeping. And then there's like a college student that's doing it, but really knows what they're doing. And they charge $25 an hour because they think they're just not good enough. They don't believe in themselves. But the truth is they could triple their prices and they would be fine. In fact, they would get more clients because people would see their work as premium, and then they would be able to. So do you know what happened when I increased my consulting rates? My consulting rate used to be $100 an hour. And then I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go to $500 an hour. Not because I thought I was good enough. I actually still didn't. But because I didn't want to do it. And I got more clients. I got way more clients. I like because like in a crazy way, like people look at it and they say, fuck, like that's something that it's like a premium. I want to pay for that. I literally have people in my email like down. I can't do all the consulting that I want to do.
Yeah. I know how you previously talked on one of your streams about like Patreon for streamers and YouTubers. And on Twitter, there's a lot of like hugely in-depth guides for certain decks made by Magic players, completely free. And then I see there are people that have these Patreons that are like giving significantly worse content, but have people paying a lot more for it. Yeah. And I was just
most people are doing a really shitty job at everything.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I'm like, I still kind of deal with this dilemma of just, I've heard people go like, oh, if you made a Patreon for this, or like paid money for this guide for this deck, I would pay for it. Yeah. And I have a dilemma of just like, I know people are doing a much better job than I could even do, or the amount of time I'd put in for completely free. So why should I do this paid thing when I know people are willing to do it for free?
But you don't get to decide what the market does. Like that's the thing. It's like you're treating the market like it's like your thing, but it's not. It's its own thing. Like if people are gonna pay for something that's like, then like it's up to you to like capitalize on that. Like as far as I'm concerned, like dude, I basically just waltzed into the Twitch analytics space. I walked in to like the marketing space of like there was nobody covering marketing content on Twitch of like why do people do what they do, and like how does the gaming industry work? Like why does it actually work? What's going on? Like how do the backend systems work? I literally just walked in here and I was like, and people were like, oh, what do I do, Devin? And I'm like, I don't know, make YouTube videos or some shit. And now I'm like fucking this. Like I'm like, what the fuck happened? I'm not even good at this, right? Like, but like I'm better than anyone else because I just tried to focus on it. You can do the same thing for like building decks, like whatever. Like you like there's you I think you take somebody and you go, okay, I want to do that even better. And the very act of thinking about that like puts you ahead of the game.
To where?
Okay. It's just I kind of had the moral dilemma of thinking
without people harassing me. And that would make sense if you were a celebrity or somebody that could afford something, but I'm not. I'm really not. Like, I don't have shit. I am miserable here. I'm like, looks like they have made give me these chairs that look like wheelchairs. Do you see this?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't have anything to hide. You can record me. That's fine.
Okay.
You can keep recording me. What do I have to lose at this point? All I'm doing is smoking a cigarette.
Amanda.
Stop. Turn that shit down and make that shit stop.
Turn it down.
No more robots. No, that's disturbing my neighbors, dude. Turn that shit off.
Hold up.
Turn it off.
I'm trying to turn it down.
Or leave.
I'm trying to turn it
You
off.
have two choices. No, turn it off.
Hold up.
Turn it off.
I'm trying to get it to go off.
Turn it off.
Hold up. I'm trying. Okay, it's off.
Funny. It's not cute. It's bullshit. Sorry, you're not funny anymore. You've crossed the line. You don't get to laugh at another person's suffering. You don't. Before somebody good stands up for what's right. There are two kinds of people in the world who are bad. There are the kinds of people who intentionally do bad things to other people, and then there are people who sit there and watch it happen and don't do anything about it.
Well, if you need help,
Both of those
give me a
people
call.
are just as bad to me.
These are pretty good, I think. Oh, yes. Beautiful. Yo, thank you. Meme magic, buddy. Appreciate it. Let's go. Okay, let me just make sure this has nothing in it. Okay, cool. All right.
This?
Yep.
One bag?
Yeah. What's she getting? Okay, cool. Yeah, a little bag would be great. Thank you. How's, what's up? I'm gonna get one and strap it to my shoulder. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'm waiting for the new GoPro because it comes out in October. So like, I could buy the one now, but yeah, because I vlog everything. How'd you know? Just tell. Yeah.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the new GoPro. It comes out in October, and just strap it to my shoulder, and then I'll be hands-free. It'll be nice, but got to do this for like another month.
At 120, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Take it easy, bro.
Thanks, man. Take care.
I know that if someone's doing this for free, should I like?
So here's how I get around moral dilemmas. Okay.
Yeah.
Every product and service I offer has a 100% money back guarantee. Don't like it, I'll give you all your money back. No questions asked. Just send me an email or whatever. Every single thing that I ever do in my life has that. No matter what a company that I'm associated with, no matter what. Like at CLG, every single product that we had a 100% money back guarantee. I don't think anybody ever. I think somebody did at one time email us for it. But so here's the deal. I'm not gonna try to do I could go through like a really big convincing argument as to why you shouldn't have that moral system. It's a pain in my ass and I don't want to do it. So I'll tell you right now.
That's fair.
I'll tell you right now. Offer 100% money back guarantee. Make it actually apparent. Put it right there and be like, hey, if my product didn't actually provide you value, if the deck list didn't actually provide you value, you feel like you didn't get out something out of it, send me an email. Literally no questions asked. I will pay you back right away. And then actually do it. Stand by your shit, dude. If your shit's good, stand by it. And by the way, people won't abuse it because guess what? Somebody could get your deck list and they could literally just send you back, hey, I don't like it. But what you actually, and then they'll get your deck list and your money, right? But what you'll find out is that people actually aren't dicks. And most people that feel like they got value for something will actually
They're
just
swollen, like under the skin.
What's up, Blair?
That's bugs.
Yeah, we're still here, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. I could barely move my fingers. It's disgusting. That's how it started off.
I can't go to sleep. I can't go to bed right now. Lucy's gonna be up in like less than an hour, so I don't want to like go into bed and wake her up. So I gotta stay up till 5:30 now.
It's known to kill bugs, so if it was some kind of
just pay you for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like that was a big thing for me with like ebooks, because I actually thought that I was selling like legit shit products, dude. Like I was selling like fucking like Garbo level like 30-page info products, but I still had my 100% money back guarantee, and the highest return rate I had was on like a total dog shit product, and it was 4%.
Okay.
And like I thought I was stealing from people with that product. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, I just have like the thought of kind of just like, it feels like I'm stealing from someone.
Hello, me babies. Hello, me brothers. Me mothers. Me sisters. Me people. I have done what I could, chat. I have done what I could. Listen. We can't all be the hero. That's why most of you are villains. No one knows why. What's up? B-Win. What is up? God, how many drinks do I have over here?
When I know that like I'm not really, because they willingly paid for something. They know exactly what's there.
Yeah.
But it still feels like stealing because I know that there's a product that is basically free.
But that is literally the mindset that keeps people in mediocrity. Is that they don't think that they're the one to branch out and do something. They think it should be someone else.
Yep.
Right. Oh, well, like someone else is going to be the expert on that. Someone else can create a better deck than me. Someone else can offer this service better. Why? Like, why can't you do it? What one man can do, another can do. Always.
It's fair. It's just the fact that like if I can even make a comparable product, then should I be giving it for free like the other person is? Which I probably shouldn't, like if I'm actually putting time and effort into it and people are willing to pay for it, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Like I think that there's something to be said about free content. I think that free content, like I do I mean, dude, I offer all my best shit for free. I'm not holding anything back on this channel, right? I'm like telling you like exactly like what to do, right? Like I don't know if you put a value to like what I told you on your YouTube videos. If you actually do what I said, you will get 5 to 10K views per video, like forever, right? If you actually go do it. If you go back to this VOD and go, okay, I'm going to do that to the thumbnails, I'm going to do that to the titles, and then I'm going to do it. And you iterate on this process and you learn from it, that'll happen. What is that worth? I don't know. I give it away for free because, again, this is a concept called thank you economy, and also a concept called jab, 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 right hook. These are all Gary Vee concepts, or it's just easy to explain these marketing concepts in those ways. Where it's like, I will, if I am very convinced at some point, if I ask for something, if I actually want people to buy something, And that's not to say that I would do, and I would only do that if I felt like I was really providing a lot of value. A shit ton of people would fucking buy it. If I want to come out with like a green tea that I really believe in, that I really like, and I talk about green tea and I drink it every day, a shit ton of people will buy it. If I want to come out with like a guide about like how to go from 0 to hero and like build it, and I want to charge for that, I will 100% get a fucking shit ton. If I come out right now with like a guide that's like, here's a course right now on everything I've learned, 700 personal development books from the ground up. If you are from the age of 18 to 30 and you want to build your life into something that you want to imagine this to be, here's how you fucking do it. And I would offer it 100% money gap guarantee. And also I'd offer a second thing. I would say anyone that can't afford this course, send me a personal email with why, and I'll send it to you for free if you promise to do it. I'll have those two caveats, and now a shitload of people will buy it. I promise you, right? And that's because I've built equity, right? Because I'm giving away my best stuff all the time. Now, I think that there's something to be said about that free content, but also like what the thing that people pay for, right, is like a personalized experience. So there's like you can do a bunch of videos and tell people why like these various different types of black decks operate like specific in this meta. But if you wanted to do, and that might be free content, right? But if you wanted to do a specific guide on how to get from 0 to mythic in arena, right? That's a value prop that you can charge for, because that's like something that like a person can actually use to succeed at a higher level. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense what you're saying about the like you are giving out the free content like with your streaming and your YouTube.
I literally sit here every day and give the best knowledge I have. I'm fucking spending hours researching this shit. I talk to the top people in the industry on this shit.
Holy mother of shit. This is all bad, babies. It's all bad. Huh. I whip my hair back and forth. I don't know why I'm here, chat. A lot of it has to do with loving you. It's easy cause I want it to be loving you. Fuck if I know, BW1N. Don't ask me stupid questions like that. Jesus Christ. Do I look like I have anything to do with this fucking stream? At fucking all? No, man. The V is for Victoria, my wife, the queen of the stream. Loving you.
And I literally post the fucking shit for free on YouTube, and I will continue to do that, right? I could fucking, like, dude, the stuff with Alec Kanajaya, I could literally go to that dude, the Harvard psychiatrist that we talked to, literally go to that dude and be like, hey, man, let's build a course together. We'll charge for this shit. I could easily do that shit, right?
Yeah.
But I don't. Fucking post the whole fucking thing on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea of all this free content, but then also saying if you want something more in depth or something that I put time into, like past the free content, then you should pay for that. That makes sense as
a focused
like
course.
a justifiable reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a focused course, like a focus. So like if I'm gonna build out 10 videos or maybe 15 to 20 videos even, several articles and like homework, like you will write homework. So I'll tell you like this, like, and like I don't talk much about like products I'm gonna do like later. I'll tell you one thing I'm going to do like in the future. I am going to make a course that is going to be, I would say probably 20 to 25 videos, and it's going to be at each video has an article attached that I write. It's going to be if you are starting from absolutely nothing. How do you get yourself into the mindset to be successful at something you're passionate about? It's going to be finding that passion.
Gotta stop
It's going to
using
be locating
this.
that passion, then utilizing it. And every
this
single thing will have
mouse.
homework that you actually have to
Killing
input.
my hand.
You have to actually put in that you are going to write, and like you are going to like actually have to do, and that course is going to go through a whole series. I'm going to make it specific to that theme every time. And then if I can, to the extent that I can, I'm going to actually create a community of a specific community, probably on Discord, where people can interact and talk about and share their goals within that. And that will be a thing I do. Okay. And that's a structured thematic thing that I will charge for, because I know that people that sign up for it, that transaction of value will be very important. Very important. I'm 100% going to do that. That's an example of what I would see. See, the difference is I can talk all day about like general success principles or and like the best I have about how to do this. But when you structure it together into a single thing, a single entity, right, that a person can follow along with and do, then that will be like the actual thing that will make it successful. Does that make sense?
Like the content you're doing on your stream is very free flowing, like can go any which direction, whereas the structured content is very like, this is what's going to happen, this is what you're going to achieve, this is how I'm going to help you achieve it, and
Yes.
you will achieve it by the end of this.
That's right. Exactly. Yes. And that difference is paid versus free, I think. Because you can't
Yes, Chris likes PC games. That's what she is, me big boy. You bloody hell fucking right. I don't know if No Man's Sky is good now. It does seem like, you know, people are playing it. I don't know if people are playing it. I mean, it seems like... It seems like... there was a big update today. That's what I got for you. Alright. That's what I got for you. That's all I got for you. No Man's Sky. Oh, I don't know, chat. Your internet is down? That must be tough on you, Mr. Speed. Tough as fuck on you, baby. You haven't left the basement in 6 months? Jesus. You have a standing desk with mic arm? Jesus. Bro. I didn't want to tell you this. Because I felt bad. But my man, you can simp to me right now. Without even trying to simp. You know? It's not even like a trial simp.
You can't offer something to someone that specific without doing like a sort of structured thing around it. Like you could make one video about like black aggro is like one of the best decks in the current standard meta, right? Like which I think it is. But like you can't really make one video about like how to play black well and how to consider like black an actual like how to make good decisions around like how to like maybe how to build your own black deck from scratch and like utilize cards to like build a deck that's really good. That might be 4 or 5 focus videos that you put behind a paywall of like a Patreon or something, for example.
Yeah, it's like the difference between, oh, we're gonna play this black aggro deck today versus here's how you play aggro in the grand scheme of the game.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. That's the difference. Very good. Yeah, you got it. That's 100% right.
That knowledge is like really important, being able to actually understand why I'm going to if I am going to move forward with like a special paid content like a Patreon or something like that, why the reasons to do it and like what actually to structure it as.
To be clear, I think that you don't need to even think. So I have another piece of advice that might be like a little bit I don't know if discouraging is the right word, but like I wouldn't think about, so like look at me, right? Like right now, and this is, I'm sorry, so this, I'm just gonna like stroke my own giant dick right now for a second here, but like here we go, right? Like, so I'm a top 0.001% streamer on Twitch, right? Like by viewership. I have like I've obviously like done what I've been talking about. I've got a C-level background, like all that stuff, the CEO Andy meme, all that shit, right? Am I qualified right now to make a course and charge for it?
8 hours later.
I would assume so.
I think so, right? Like if anyone's gonna do it, I think I could. So why haven't I, right? Because I think that the longer that you can go offering free, valuable content that is the best you have, the better. Because as soon as you introduce a transaction, the game changes a little bit. It's not necessarily bad, but it changes a little bit. And so like I think like you want to think about right now as much as possible just growth, right? Like what can I do? And here's something that I gave advice to Zizarin about, right? And I'll give the same advice to you because I think that Path of Exile and Magic in a lot of ways are kind of like similar categories. I think that you need to become the expert on something. So like with Zizarin, I would really like Zizarin to become the ARPG expert. So when Lost Ark comes out, Diablo 4 comes out, he is the guy that people watch, right? Like when World of Warcraft new expansion comes out, who are you gonna watch?
It's like Asmongold.
Exactly. You thought about it immediately. It's Asmongold, right? You go to Asmon or you go to Soda, maybe, right? Yeah. If World of Warcraft comes out with a new expansion, that's where I go. So Asmongold is the person you go to for that content. When I started this stream, my objective was I am the person you go to when shit goes down in the industry. If Courage is moving to fucking YouTube, you better be on my stream because you're gonna get a better take here than you're gonna go through anywhere else, right? If Ninja's moving to Mixer, we had 1,500 concurrent viewers because that was like the biggest thing, right? People know to come here when shit is going down in the industry. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, I will be the person you come to, right? So for Zizarin, I would really like for him, what he could start doing is he could start making YouTube videos about ARPGs, reviewing ARPGs, guides to ARPGs, playing different ARPGs, so that when Diablo 4 comes out, he's the fucking dude. And now his stream skyrockets to 30, 50K viewers, right? And all of a sudden he's the #1 on Twitch. That's how he does it. You can do the same thing with Magic, where it's like you become the fucking expert on certain types of decks, certain types of modes, anticipating Wizards releasing so for example, if you want to become an expert on Modern, and 3 months ago, Wizards released the Modern only set, right? That if you were positioned at that time to be the fucking dude for that, right? It would have grown your stream like crazy because people would have come to you for that kind of authority. That's what I think you have to think about. Where do you want to be that expert precisely, and like how do you function and how do you structure that?
Yep, I actually had a little bit beforehand. I was trying to structure myself as like an expert in a specific deck, and it actually grew my stream a good chunk along with my YouTube because I would just play that deck, did it for around like a month.
Yep. And
then I also went to a big Grand Prix, had a reasonable finish, and people were just like, okay, this is the person who knows what's happening. Another person also with my deck list had an even better finish than me. They shouted me out, and everyone was just like, this person knows what he's talking about. Go to him for these deck lists. Like on the Facebook page about the deck, they were talking about me. Like Twitter, they were talking about me and all these things. And that helped me grow like a little bit as well with like just constantly doing YouTube uploads along with Twitch. But people were coming in and asking me questions about it. They were going like, when are you going to play this next? Like, what do you think about my deck list? And people were engaging with me a lot about that specific deck that I was playing. And I've almost done that again with a different archetype as well, which people come in and say, look at my deck list. Oh, I'm coming for this content. People on Twitter have said, oh, I'm using your deck list, doing great. Like, go watch this guy's stream. And it's like been very, very good as well.
Yes, because you are becoming an authority on something that will always work. Dude, I honestly think that so much of my fucking marketing knowledge came from Batman, dude. Like, the scene where it was one of my favorite movies of all time, Batman Begins. The scene where Ra's al Ghul walks into the prison cell and he leans down and he's like, a man can be tied up, locked away, killed, or disposed of, right? But if you become more than just a man, if you become an idea, then you become something else entirely. A legend, Mr. Wayne. Right? Like, you become the expert on something. You become the idea that it gets embodied into. And it doesn't have to be like a huge grand thing, right? I'm just the expert on shit that happens in the industry. Like the gaming industry. There's fucking tons of shit going on. Who the fuck knows what's going on? We got like elections and shit. There's fucking wars and shit. Like special forces killing like dudes in like fucking other countries and shit. I don't know about any of that shit, right? Like there's oil, there's space, I don't know. Like there's all kinds of shit I don't know. I'm just here in my thing. And it's like, you know, and then like when people ask me, it's like, well, Devin, like what do you think about, you know, this other thing? I'm like, I don't fucking know. You stay in your lane and that's enough, right? Like, I think people try to go, like, too general. Like, I'm just gonna be a streamer that plays video games. Who fucking cares? What do you do? Like, well, like, what's interesting about you that's different from, like, what other people can provide?
Yeah, you can see that specifically when you see, like, people who get, let's say they played Overwatch, like, except for Moon, who did this amazingly, but, people who were playing Overwatch, like, Seagull and some other streamers, they were, like, 10K, 20K viewers. And then they tried to play other games, went down to like 3K, 2K, sometimes less, because it's like, we came here to watch you do this thing, and come here to watch like you do something else that I don't care about.
Well, Moon Moon's an interesting case because what is, do you know what Moon Moon does as a niche better than anybody else?
Well, not personally, I find him very entertaining, so I watch him for that.
Well, you just answer the question. He's funny, he's funny as fuck. So he became, so if you want to watch, that's a niche in itself though, my man. It's like, if you want to watch the funniest fuck guy on Twitch, you go watch Moon Moon. Right? Like if you want to watch a guy that does that, that's who you watch. Like, comedy in of itself is a very powerful niche. It's like, being funny is one of the most powerful things you can do. I literally took improv classes to become more funny for this fucking stream so I could entertain these monkeys in chat. Like, this is, it literally is, like it literally is improving upon, like, I think you've probably heard me, like, improv class, I think, is one of the #1 things that you can do to like actually literally improve every aspect of what you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about doing things like that, but I'm not as lazy as most Twitch streamers. I would say I'm a fairly lazy person still, and struggle to do things like, okay, let's do this thing every single day. Surprised I can even do that with Twitch streaming. Like, I've barely started doing Twitch streaming every day, and I started going to the gym finally again this month.
Good. Yeah.
Things like that.
Devin should just marry Moon Moon at this point. I wish I could. Yeah, he wouldn't have me. I'm not bald enough. Not mauled enough. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, like, there's a whole, like, other, like, personal struggle, like, kind of side to it. And that's whatever. Like, I mean, like, there's obviously, like, I have some, like, I probably have some, like, input into that too, but, like, there's like, tactically though, the thing I'll say is, like, here's the most encouraging thing I can say about that, okay? I think if you, there's a really cool quote, really inspiring quote, the quote that I think about probably every day, is if you want to be an anomaly, you have to act like one. And a Twitch streamer, a person that makes money playing video games, is objectively an anomaly. That is not a normal thing. A normal thing is you go out, work at a job, come home, and then you go out and do that again, right? It's extremely difficult to be an anomaly in something. And it reminds me of a story that I used to be in a college class. It was a corporate finance class, and there was a dude that had run the entire sales division for Black & Decker, which is a massive company that does, like, they sell tools and shit, like industrial shit. And I went to I don't really talk about my, like, education, but, like, I went to, like, this, like, really shitty liberal arts college, so, like, didn't, like, really matter. And and this guy's a hardcore motherfucker, right? Like, I never got over a C in his class, and it was really hard. Like, he just didn't fuck around, didn't allow laptops in his class. He's just a real hardcore pipe-hitting motherfucker. And he was sitting there one day, like, at the beginning of class, he's like, you know what? I wonder when you guys are all gonna turn it on. And, like, I was like, what does he mean? And he's like, I just think about every single day right now while you're sitting in this class. He's like, it's about, like, what, 1 p.m. on, like, a Tuesday? He said there's people in Harvard, there's people in Yale, there's people at UCLA, Berkeley, that are sitting here right now, and every one of those people is going to be competing for whatever you want to do. And they're all growing up right now. They're all learning like you, and a lot of them are studying harder. The thing that is going to separate you from them is how hard you choose to work on your craft versus how much you choose to go party and do whatever else. And if you want to be someone exceptional, you are going to have to do what they don't do. And I think about that every day.
Sure. That makes sense, like, in the sense of, like, if everyone else is trying to get to the same goal, what's going to set you apart? What work are you doing towards getting towards that goal that will allow you to achieve it over someone else, especially when you're directly competing with them in a space that's like Twitch, right?
You have to really... I understand that this is, like, a pretty heavy idea, right? Like, but it's like, if you're really setting yourself out to be a broadcaster at full time, right? You need to really think about that concept, because there are 3 million broadcasters that want what you want right now, every month on this platform.
Yeah. So yeah, like, it does make sense in the sense that, like, how am I going to set myself apart? Literally 3 million other people.
Yep.
What am I going to do? How could I possibly do that? Even, let's say I'm starting my YouTube, but there's still hundreds of thousands of people doing that. How am I going to set my YouTube channel apart? How am I going to connect everything together? How am I going to market myself?
Yeah, and that's like a lot of, like, overwhelming shit. Like, I'm saying, like, what you need to do is act. Like, you need to go in, like, install Adobe Spark, make a thumbnail, and then make your video. And that'll be the one thing that you did. And then do another thing and another thing. Like, I've had such a fucking uphill battle with exercise that, like, I feel like this, you were mentioning that you, like, went to the gym and you started going to the gym a little bit more. The way that I finally started to think about it was, like, what the fuck am I gonna do today to actually do something that is physically invigorating, right? And you can think about it the same way in your Twitch stream. Like, what am I gonna do today that moves my brand forward? And if you answer that question, you do that today and tomorrow and every day, you'll be successful, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a hard thing to think about every day. Hard thing to.
Oh, dude, it's contrary to our nature, but it's exactly why it's, like, important for it to. Why it's important to think like that, because nobody else does, really. Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. Are there any questions you have for me, or anything, like, you want to talk about specifically?
Not exactly. I guess, like, there were some people I saw in chat talking about, like, how would you literally grow from zero to, like, starting to be successful. There were some of the things I thought about, how I always think about, like, because I have some people in my chat go, like, that are streamers, but they're, like, 5 viewer, 10 viewer people, and I think, how would I start from zero again?
Okay, so real quick, tactically, I think we covered it, okay? So 0 to 10, go into other people's streams and talk, and then don't be obnoxious, and, like, if this opportunity comes up and maybe the broadcaster asks about you or whatever, like, hey, yeah, I'm like, trying to start a stream, and then I'm kind of messing around. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's like 0 to 10, okay? And then, like, 10 to 50 is, like, stream in a relevant game category with a high viewer ratio that we talked about earlier in the talk, and that pulls you up and gets you a couple of people from Twitch while simultaneously making YouTube videos that are oriented towards, like, either guide content or direct content that you want to create in your specific niche that you've identified. And then, like, from there, like, 50 to 100, like, 100 to 500, like, 50 to 100, that's the same thing. And then 100 to, like 100 plus is, like, beyond the scope of, like, what we're talking about now. But the answer is, like, YouTube and social media. Yeah. Yeah.
That all makes sense. Yeah.
So that's tactically how I do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it happened so, like, at the beginning of the conversation that, you know, I actually almost forgot that we went over it.
Yeah, no problem. No, I made sure we did because I thought there's a huge theme of this talk. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
good, man.
I think.
Was this a good talk? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it felt good. Like, nearly all the parts I felt good about and comfortable. Thought it was going to be a lot more, like, possibly awkward or me being nervous, but got into it pretty well.
You did great. I am so glad that you are the only one to have survived the gauntlet, man. Like, it is really impressive what you're doing. How have you accomplished? Starting today, we'll be testing automated mid-roll ads for some viewers. These ads will directly support the creator and won't run if the viewer has an ad break in the channel recently. Oh man, ads are coming to Twitch in a big way. Look, here's the thing, okay? Nobody likes ads, and people, the people that don't like ads the most are the people that didn't get ads and now are getting ads as a new thing. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you why, like, this is inevitable for Twitch as a website. Okay, like, I don't see a world where mandatory ads don't exist for Twitch, because without them, this website is just not going to exist in its current form. So here's what's happening, okay? I'm going to give you context into this that, like, I don't think anybody's ever done. I know nobody's done. So Twitch doesn't require streamers to run ads. YouTube runs ads automatically, but you can select if you want to run ads or not. Most people run ads on videos. So YouTube has the advantage of doing this because YouTube is a VOD platform and culturally acceptable to view ads. Twitch, though, not as culturally accessible. And if you listened to my talks before, particularly on pre-roll ads, there's a large bounce rate. So we can always do this talk where it's like, how many people have gone to a stream, you get an ad, and you're like, I'm done with this, I'm gonna go to another stream. Everyone does this, right? That gets ads. Like I do this. Like, so many people do this, right? And so you might go to a stream, you might want to watch a content creator that you were going to watch, but go watch another content creator because an ad bounced you off of it. And we've run a lot of data on this, and we've seen that up to 30% of the people that go into a broadcast that get bounced by a pre-roll ad go somewhere else. So that's not 30% per capita of the total unique views that are watching or that are going to your stream, but it's 30% of the people that are being served a pre-roll ad. It's not insignificant. It's a large number. So Twitch. So let's talk about first, like, Twitch has to run ads. Forehead. Why? Well, because Twitch has to make money. Smile. Right? So there's a bunch of different ways to cultivate this. So Twitch is never going to make enough profit off subscriptions. That includes both Twitch Turbo.
Whatever's good for you, sir.
And streamer subscriptions.
I do. I don't
Classes
know
in
if I
session.
hate
Does
mac
anyone
and
know
cheese,
why?
but I'm not hungry for mac and cheese right now.
That's right. Lots of big, smart people in chat. The reason why Twitch is never going to make enough profit off of subscriptions is because subscriptions are a flat revenue generator, but ads are a dynamic revenue generator. The difference is that if you subscribe to me with Twitch, I will always get $2.50 or $3.50 if I'm preferred. But on an ad, I can get, Twitch can get, or we should actually put these in terms of Twitch, right? Twitch will always get $2.50 or $1.50, right, on preferred. But on an ad, Twitch can make anywhere between $5, like, I don't know, $1 per 1,000 people to $50 per 1,000 people, depending on a lot of factors, depending on like the nature of the ad, the category, things like that. This is one of the reasons why YouTube makes so much money. Google reports $30 billion in advertising last quarter. This is because YouTube has a dynamic revenue generation scheme through advertising. Basically, the value of a keyword is ascertained by the number of people that want to advertise on it and the number of people that watch it. So Twitch is screwed and not profitable until they switch to an ad revenue model. That's important to understand, right? Basically, Twitch goes nowhere as a website unless they do this. So that means we have to have advertisements on Twitch. But is it feasible to get streamers, to force streamers to run ads? Because streamers run very different kinds of content than YouTubers do. If I'm in the middle of like my big hype session and I'm about to beat the game that like you've been watching me play a Dark Souls playthrough for the last 2 weeks, I'm at the end boss, and then it's like an I was here moment. Like I'm about to hit the last boss with the last hit, and it's like, brought to you by Brawny. Clean up your life because it sucks. Your life sucks. Use Brawny to clean it up. And you're like, oh my God. Like you've just lost the moment, right? Now in a VOD, you can go back and you can be like, oh okay, like I see an ad, but then you like experience the moment because it's still there. But in a Twitch stream, you can't do that. So the idea was for Twitch initially to let streamers run their own ads. And you have something called a fill rate on Twitch. A fill rate equals the number of ads available. YouTube has this as well at any given time to serve to streamers. Oftentimes on Twitch, the fill rate is below 100%, meaning there are not enough advertisements to serve to the total number of streamers on the website. That is to say that if every streamer on Twitch right now ran ads that is an affiliate or partner, we would run out of ads. Does that make sense? But fear not. The vast majority of people on Twitch don't run ads at all, even very big streamers. And this is actually so true that this has become a problem for Twitch. Twitch doesn't have enough streamers that run ads. Sorry, can you repeat everything you just said? I just got an ad. So, Twitch has started to try to think about all of the ways that they can fix this problem. Because basically what is happening right now is there are people there's not enough, like, people aren't running enough ads. That's just it. Like, people are not running enough ads on Twitch to make Twitch actually equal up to its fill rates. There are more ads on Twitch that are available, and then Twitch can't actually fulfill the obligations of their contracts to the brands, and so then they can't advertise. So this is a shit show, right? So what can we do? We can force big streamers to run ads, and maybe we can do this contractually and pay those streamers. So that's one option. We can automatically input ads into streams. Or we can just ask really nicely. So number 3 has been the thing we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. Hasn't worked. Because basically Twitch partnership goes to these big streamers and goes, hi, can you run ads? No. Please? No. We'll give you more money? No. Right? Number 4 thing you can do is increase incentives to run ads. Pay more CPM to streamers. So Twitch has done everything. We're going to put this as number 3. Twitch has done everything 1 through 3. They've tried to force bigger streamers through contracts. They've tried to increase incentives. They've tried to ask really nicely. None of it works. Streamers won't run ads. They feel like it interrupts their show. You can offer them huge contracts. You can offer them tons of money. And they generally won't do it. The culture of Twitch is not evolving fast enough for enough streamers to run ads. So, as a result, the next logical conclusion is Twitch has to force it to happen. If they don't, they can't have the website work for the aforementioned reasons. It's just not going to work. So, the obvious question here that's on everybody's mind, and we'll just read some of the comments here. Is this going to negatively impact viewership? The big answer is yes, but it will impact viewership at an equal rate across all broadcasts. So if a mid-roll broadcast gets rolled on my stream and you get it, and you go to another streamer as a result, that will happen. I will lose 1 to 3 to 5% of my viewership as a result of that. But that will simultaneously be happening to every other broadcaster as well. So it is difficult to like, that viewer has to go somewhere. Now, maybe that viewer leaves the website. That sucks. So viewer sees an ad, says, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to sit through 30 seconds. Clicks X and goes and does something else. We don't have a lot of data to show if that's the case. Most people just go to their following list and click on another streamer. The answer is basically that it does impact everybody, but it impacts everybody negatively equally. So it's difficult to say if, like, we're going to see a decline in viewership, but overall, we might see an increase in viewership passively. It's really, really tough to say. We'll probably have to run the data on this. So I've already explained, like, why this has to happen. But the other effect of this that probably nobody is talking about, so Quinn says, can we opt out of this? Sounds awful for any sort of special event. Poggers, guys, Elden Ring announcement. Finally here watching it live. 3, 2, 1, advertisement plays. So Quinn, I don't think understands. The way to opt out of this is to run ads. Because if you run an ad, basically, this is Twitch holding a... It kind of sounds kind of dramatic, but putting a gun to your head and saying, if you don't run ads, we will run them for you. If you do run ads, you choose when to run them. Otherwise, we will run them for you. So if Quinn wants to get out of this deal, he can run an ad, and that will stop it, if that makes sense. I don't know what that ratio is going to be. Most people are just butt frustrated for the sake of it, or they haven't read it. Please add a setting for the streamer to turn it off. So again, there is a way to turn it off. You just have to... Like, all these people, it's unbelievable how few people just can't read. I will be incredibly unhappy if you force ads down my viewer's throat when I am streaming. This other guy, goat. Literally read what it says. It literally says, they won't run if a viewer has had an ad break in that channel recently. So if you run your ads on time, when you're supposed to run them, when you want to run them, you don't get forced ads. I swear to God, nobody fucking reads this stuff. So if you just run 3 ads when you go take a leak, you will not have your ads forced on viewers. I assume that this ratio... So people are asking how often. I assume that it is at the ratio to which is the current standard expectation of Twitch is generally 3 ads per hour. So 3 per 60, which would be 3 minutes of every 60 minutes or 5% of your stream. Which is a lot. But that's the current expectation for Twitch to run. Yeah, like, it's a lot. So, but it's still well below the average time of watching ads on something like television or something like that. So my guess is that every streamer will be running 5% of their broadcast will be ads. So I think the expectation, this is just a very educated guess, for Twitch streamers going forward is 3 to 4 minutes of ads per 60 minutes, which should be 5%. That is so much. It feels like a lot, but relative to television and YouTube, it is not a lot. The problem is that Twitch hasn't been educated yet, or I should say educated is actually the wrong word. The right word is actually trained. like Pavlov's dogs. On YouTube, nobody really bitches about ads because it's just a part of the platform. The reason why a lot of people are really mad about ads on Twitch is some people run them and some people don't. So sometimes you also certain subscribers, they don't get ads and certain subscribers do. Twitch Turbo, yeah, a custom is a good word, right? Like certain people get ads, certain people don't. So the problem here is that like, unless the behavior is ubiquitous for the entire platform, people are going to get butt mad. Once the behavior becomes ubiquitous for the entire platform and across every single streamer, affiliate, or whatever on Twitch, you get ads at 3 minutes per 60 minutes per hour, it'll feel normal to you. It'll be fine. And it has the added benefit, which I don't see a single person talking about, of massively increasing the income of broadcasters. Because ads on Twitch are at a high enough CPM that they're really no joke. And if you ran if you're above 1,000 viewers on Twitch and you run 3 minutes of ads per 60 minutes where you previously ran 0, that 5%, listen to this right now, because this is going to be crazy. That 5% of content that you're sacrificing will make you 50 to 75% more income. Pound for pound. So if you were making $2,000 a month, you'll be making $4,000 running ads at that frequency. If you're above 1,000 viewers, obviously that scales exponentially the more viewers that you have. Why? Because of the concept that we talked about before. The idea of dynamic scaling revenue, especially with the advertising network from Amazon coming in. That is actually a huge, huge sleeper OP thing, because that means Amazon CPMs will apply to Twitch and CPMs will go way up. Now now Twitch right now keeps most of those CPMs. And if they apply a flat rate to streamers, If I was Twitch and I was
I used to
Kinetic
always
Evil,
be really
here's what I would
impressed
do.
with that wood thing in the back.
Oh man, this is so evil. I actually bet they'll do this. My money would be on them doing this. Here's how it would work. Because only very smart people would know how this works. Very few people would do it. Right now, YouTube applies a dynamic CPM to you as a partner. So if you are a person who your videos can earn $10, they can earn $15 per 1,000, $10 per 1,000, $50 per 1,000, just depends on the dynamic. On Twitch though, that's a flat rate. I can't tell you what it is because I'm under NDA, but it's a flat rate. So Twitch is only given a certain flat rate to broadcasters. Now, if the Amazon CPMs increase, let's say this is an arbitrary number, I'm just making it up because I can't tell you the real numbers. Let's say that Amazon previously had CPMs at $50. Okay, and they were giving streamers 10. They increased their CPMs to $100, but they still give streamers 10. Holy shit. Streamers won't know any better. They won't know the CPMs increase because they're idiots. I mean, they're not bad. Here's how it would work. Because only very smart people would know how this works. Very few people would do it. Right now, YouTube applies a dynamic CPM to you as a partner. So if you are a person who your videos can earn $10, they can earn $15 per 1,000, $10 per 1,000, $50 per 1,000, just depends on the dynamic. On Twitch though, that's a flat rate. I can't tell you what it is because I'm under NDA, but it's a flat rate. So Twitch is only given a certain flat rate to broadcasters. Now, if the Amazon CPMs increase, let's say this is an arbitrary number, I'm just making it up because I can't tell you the real numbers. Let's say that Amazon previously had CPMs at $50. Okay, and they were giving streamers 10. They increased their CPMs to $100, but they still give streamers 10. Holy shit. Streamers won't know any better. They won't know the CPMs increase because they're idiots. I mean, they're not business people. So nobody will know this besides literally me. I'll be the only one. And I'll be in the corner being like, I'll be like, this is happening. And everyone will be like, shut up, Devin, like you fucking dumbass. Like this, and literally this will be the same thing that happened with Prime and with subs and with bits, is that Twitch will literally take a huge cut of something and it will be to thunderous applause. Bits are amazing. A new way to support my channel. Right? Where did your donations go? Have you noticed that your donations declined 80% over the last 3 years? That's weird. Why did that happen? Oh, because people are gifting subs and giving 50% of it to Twitch instead. But it helps your community. I don't know. My community can't help me eat a sandwich that I need to buy because I'm starving. Right? So, like, Twitch, this is another way for Twitch to, like, I guarantee that a huge amount of the value that is not going to be passed on to streamers. And I don't think that anybody will realize this. But even given that, even that considered, even if the CPMs stay the same, broadcasters overall will still make more money. So again, 5% of your content being sacrificed and some percentage of your viewership, I would say between the realm of 7 to 10% of your viewership at the time that an ad is run is consistent with what mid-roll ads do now across the platform. It depends on the stream also. Better content creators, lower numbers. So the if you're a shitty streamer, you can take like a 20% hit from an ad break. Meaning like you run an ad for 3 minutes, everybody pieces out, they go somewhere else. If you're a good content creator and people are hanging on what you're gonna say, they'll wait through the ad, obviously. So at that point, your loss of viewership is relative to the number of people that to the content you create and the number of people that are willing to tolerate it, right? If you do good content, most people will sit through your ads. It's fine. Once again, top content creators rise to the top. I think that makes sense to everybody. So you're sacrificing 5% of your total content and some percentage of your viewership for a pretty significant increase in revenue. I think most streamers should be happy to take that trade. And most of the people that are bitching are like, either one, they just haven't read it. They don't understand that if you manually run ads, you don't run into the problem of being forced. So the whole argument of like, I'll miss my moment is just not true. You just run ads when you go to the bathroom or whatever. That's number one. Number two, so that's just like literally 90% of this thread is people just not listening. The usual, right? People literally just not reading what it says, which is amazing to me, but they just didn't read it. That's it. Okay, that's number one. Number two is out of the people that didn't read what it says, that did read it and do understand that, they probably don't understand that they don't understand this ratio, right? Because you're literally looking at, so we just put the math down on paper. 5% content trade, 5% of content is now ads, okay? Number one, period. 3 to 10% of viewership declined for a 30 to 40% increase in income. Pretty good trade. I mean, I think pretty good trade. And that's assume that's at that.
I feel like Diddy
30 to 40%
Kong
increase in income
looks
is at
worse.
current rates. And I can almost be certain that Twitch will raise the CPMs once the advertising Amazon network enters into play. I wish we had an article on that. Somebody link one if you have it. Right, because this is assuming a 3/60 split. But regardless, I think that's a pretty good trade. 3 ads per hour. We're talking about 3 minutes of ads, which is in 60 minutes, which is 5% of your content. 6 minutes of ads would be 10% of your content. 3 minutes of ads in a 60-minute period is 5% of your content total. That means that people will be watching ads 5% of the time they're on their stream. 3 minutes out of every 60 minutes, you will be watching an ad if you are on our stream and you're not subbed and you don't have some other way to block ads. But those 3 minutes, you'll directly be supporting the creator. That's the benefit. Does that make sense? That's how it works. And in exchange, you're watching ads for 3 minutes, but you're directly boosting your streamer's income by 30 or 40%, and maybe more. Because this is scalable to total viewership. So let's say that I have 1,000 viewers, and then I do good content and I increase to 2,000 viewers. I have now just doubled the amount I've already doubled off of ads. So I make 100% more per doubled viewership. Ads ruin the internet experience overall in every piece of internet content. This is a very narrow view, though. I want you to understand, because like this, and I'm singling that comment out because this is literally the sort of ooga booga take on things, right? If you are going to have an ecosystem, it has to be supported by some kind of revenue generation. So you need to have some way to monetize the internet, business, the content creators. You need to have income. Now, there's lots of ways we can do this. I can force you into a subscription, for example. That's a very easy way to do it, where I can make you pay for me, right? So, like, if I say you need to pay $10 a month for to access my website or to access my stream, right? Then that is one way I can do it. The other way I can do it is I can say, you need to watch 3 ads to access my stream. Now, where you are on that spectrum is dependent on your income class. For me, I would rather pay money than to waste my time because I have money. But for a lot of people, it's a much better trade to spend a little bit of time in order to not have to pay something. Because if you have 1 million subscriptions that's eating into your value and you're living paycheck to paycheck, then it's vastly superior to trade time, right? The point is that advertisements allow you to trade time for money. You can view YouTube for free, and you don't have to have a subscription to it because you watch a few ads. Because there's a pool of people that watch ads. No way I would be paying for each subscription, though. Then you don't get the content. Because there has to be some means of monetizing, because that's how the world works. So the argument that's like, oh, well, ads ruin the internet experience. It's like, dude, business exists as a for-profit narrative. Our entire society is based off of making money to enable people to do more things and have more freedom. People start businesses, so and the things like the internet and the things like Google and things like that exist in order, like, so that's why I don't like that argument, and this argument that's like very prominent in this, like, oh, why is Twitch forcing ads on people? Because it's a for-profit business, right? Like, we can't have a society that that doesn't innovate, that's not profit driven, or at least we haven't had one before. So this is just basic fundamentals of society. You may not like it, but people are incentivized to do things for profit because that's how the world turns. That's how this world turns. All right? That's the reality. So these content creators are here doing this content for you because they make a shit ton of money doing it. That's it. It makes the world go around. So then you have a choice. Are you gonna watch ads and trade your time, or are you going to pay a subscription and trade your money? Now, Twitch is giving you that option. If you pay a subscription to a streamer, you don't watch ads. So you can pay. So for example, I pay for Twitch Turbo. I never watch ads. I haven't seen an ad on Twitch in years, right? I think only if I accidentally go to Twitch on mobile and I'm not logged in. I don't see ads because I choose to pay Twitch. I don't know what it is, $12 a month or something. And I go to any stream. I don't see an ad. And I also get to go to sleep at night. Is it $9? Okay, great, $9, whatever it is. And I know I've supported those streamers because if you sign up for Twitch Turbo, one of the main reasons I've signed up for Twitch Turbo is because you can get an ad. You don't see the ad, but that ad still counts towards the revenue, and you support the streamer. So why do you have uBlock Origin up on your browser? I think you mentioned it before. Is it because of tracking? Yes. I pay for every service that I use for content creation. I have a Twitch Turbo subscription. I also have a YouTube Red subscription. So the content that I watch, I pay for on a monthly basis. I choose to trade my money for time because that's my standpoint on things. If I couldn't do that, I would watch ads. So I think the important thing is that Twitch gives you a choice. We've established that companies need to make money. Okay, well, now there's two ways to do it. We can watch ads, or we can pay some kind of fee or a subscription or whatever to purchase our product or service. Well, Twitch gives you the option to buy both. If you don't want to, if you don't want to watch ads, you can sign up for the awesome service that is Twitch Turbo, and bam, no more ads. If you don't want to pay monthly for that to support your streamers, you can not do Twitch Turbo. You can either subscribe to the individual streamers that you watch, right, and not get ads, or you can watch ads and then support your content creators that way. It is insulting to me for people to say that they don't want to watch ads as a minor inconvenience when the vast majority of this content is supplied to you for free on the website, right? Streamers are getting offended here. Lots of streamers here are getting offended because they don't read and they don't understand. I would get offended by a viewer that comes to me and says, I don't want to watch ads, right? Basically saying you're not good enough for me to give anything back to you, right? So I think that at the end of the day, here's what's gonna happen, right? To get off I'm getting a little bit too edgy here. So I think what I mean is you have a choice, right? If you don't want ads, you pay a subscription fee. If you do want ads, or if you don't want to pay a subscription, you watch ads, right? And then there you go. That's how you support the website. I think that what ends up happening is the 3-to-60 split gets normalized for all content creators, and within the period of, I'd say, the next 6 to 12 months, you guys just view it as culturally normal to consume 3 minutes of ads for every 60 minutes you watch Twitch. And that'll be that. And everyone will kind of get used to that. It will be better than YouTube, and it will be better than TV for now. Vastly better than TV. Does anyone know the ratio of advertising that gets displayed on major television channels? It's probably like 20% of the total broadcast. Isn't it like a massive amount? Is it 1 to 3? Really? For a 30-minute show, how many ads are shown? It's some incredible amount. For a 30-minute show, how many ads are shown? Like 8 minutes? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. So that would mean that 26%, 27% of the total broadcast is ads. That's fucking insane. So, I mean, yeah, that's awful. And so television, I think, has gotten to the point where people like us are just not going to tolerate that. Because the vast majority of people that are our age just can't be fucked to watch 8 minutes of ads. I can't. Like, that's just terrible. And this is one of the reasons why TV is going out of style. Show how many ads are shown. Like 8 minutes? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. So that would mean that 26%, 27% of the total broadcast is ads. That's fucking insane. So, I mean, yeah, that's awful. And so television, I think, has gotten to the point where people like us are just not going to tolerate that. Because the vast majority of people that are our age just can't be fucked to watch 8 minutes of ads. I can't. Like, that's just terrible. And this is one of the reasons why TV is going out of style. But you can't use that same analogy to say that advertising as a whole is going out of style. Advertising is here to stay, for sure. So I would say that, okay, so that literally means that for tons and tons of free content, Twitch is 17% less advertisements than television. For a total of 5% of the total content of a stream, for a total of a 30 to 40% increase in income for streamers. You guys don't think that's cool? I think that everybody that cares about broadcasters...
What do you say, like 12%?
...wants... Advertising is here to stay, for sure. So I would say that... Okay, so that literally means that for tons and tons of free content, Twitch is 17% less advertisements than television. For a total of 5% of the total content of a stream, for a total of a 30 to 40% increase in income for streamers. You guys don't think that's cool? I think that everybody that cares about broadcasters wants broadcasters to make more money. And I would hope wants to support broadcasters. The only argument that I see in chat that is against this is just, I'm mad because I don't want to watch ads because I want stuff for free. And I guess I just don't have enough respect for that argument. I just don't understand it. You literally want something for nothing. It's not a valid argument. And like, if there's a business model where you can support something without doing anything, I don't know what that model is, or it hasn't been discovered yet. The world, and especially the internet, seems to run on ads. If you think of every major tech company and every major platform, runs on ads. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google, Instagram. Everything that we consume for content runs on ads. And Twitch, like, I don't know why we're demonizing Twitch for this, when, like, over on other platforms, it's literally so much worse. Like, with Twitch, dude, Twitch is giving that percentage back to the content creators. right? Like that now, granted, they're not like we discussed before, it's not necessarily at a scalable CPM. To what degree, I don't know. But these are forced ads? No, you just can't read. They're not forced ads. We've covered that a million times. For some reason, I just don't understand why people can't read this. These ads will directly support the creator and won't run if the viewer has an ad break in the channel recently. If you run your own ads at breaks during your stream, you will not get an ad forced on you. It will be forced if you don't run ads. They will run ads for you. It is so crazy to me that I have to explain how Twitch is not a totally free service that just exists solely for your benefit in order for you to get your 90,000th game of Among Us for free. What do you think about leveraging chat as ad space? Typically doesn't run at equal CPMs to video ads because it doesn't have the same kind of retention. So if you like let's say that like somebody might say, well, okay, well, can't you solve this by just putting ads in like the info section of a stream? So like we go here and we go to twitch.tv/DevinNash and we say, okay, well, one way we could fix this is we could just go run ads down here, right, in the info section. And then the info section looks like this. And maybe there's like a big fat ad for like the boys down here, right? Well, the problem is nobody goes down here. Only 5% of viewers go down here and check this shit. Most of you probably never read this. So the value of an advertisement in this space is less than what they would call an in-stream video ad. Now, he does open up a really good point, which could be like, so there could be different ways. Like, what if we're gonna draw like an advertising screen? Could we do like different kinds of ads? So like, could we do something like if this is me over here, here I am. Right. It's my 6-pack. Okay, all right. And now this is the rest of the stream space, right? In theory, we have the ability to use any of this space in order to make our in order to get our advertisement. Okay, so maybe that's an overlay banner. Maybe there's a banner, right, that goes here. Maybe something flashes on the screen for a certain amount of seconds. Maybe there's pop-ups, right? But the thing... Oh, I lost one of my packs. The thing I want you to remember is that basically, no matter what Twitch does, people are going to be pissed. Whenever you add... whenever you take away something and you don't give something back, they feel like it's a transactional loss. And so they get upset about it. While I'm not allowed to say specifics, Twitch has the worst CPM ad revenue share to creators with their standard contracts. Read not the big shots with custom negotiated rates. They want ads to run because they make bank. Pay a fair rate to creators. We'd be glad to run ads. This is fine. This is totally true. Twitch does have some of the worst CPM to ad revenue ratios of any website. That's 100% true. He's totally right. Like him, I can't tell you the number, but it's very bad. However, because of the way that unique viewership works on Twitch, viewers get this is kind of a complicated subject. So the way that a YouTube video works, like let's say a YouTube video gets 10,000 views, okay? And the CPM is like $10, okay? So this would be 10 per 1,000 or $100. YouTube then takes 35%. So it's then $75. Then there's like a bunch of transactions that go through. It ends up being like, I don't know, like, ends up being like $30, $40, $50 that you make off this video. Okay. So, or 65, 50. So like 45, 50, $30, $45 off like at the end of the day. Okay. 10,000 views. But a Twitch stream doesn't work that way. When a Twitch stream gets views, a Twitch stream is getting views consistently. So there are people that just joined the stream in the last 5 minutes. If you just joined the stream in the last 5 minutes, say hello. Like just say like type a 1 in chat. If you just joined the stream in the last 10 minutes, type 2. If you just joined the stream in the last hour, type 3. Right? 1 minute.
Oh, hey.
No, 1 is 5, 2 is 10, 2 is 30, last hour is 3. See, look at the number of people that are typing in chat right now. So
The
this is a dynamic
trans.
audience. It might feel the same because the viewership is plateaued.
Andy, hey, I'm sorry if I didn't reply right away. Thanks for coming by. Just chilling. Hope you're doing all right.
At a consistent rate, but actually people are leaving and coming into streams all the time. The vast majority of people that don't stay for the whole stream, in fact, the average viewer retention on Twitch is 108 minutes, meaning that when a user comes into the website, they will generally stay on the website for about 108 minutes, and most of that is focused on an individual streamer. Now, if you're here since the beginning, you're fucking awesome. If you guys are here, like, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people won't stay the whole time. And maybe they can't, they got shit to do or whatever, who knows. So that means that an impression on Twitch is very different than an impression on YouTube, because every time that one of you comes into the stream in the last 30 minutes or the last hour or the last 5 minutes, you are considered for an ad impression. Does that make sense? So the CPMs on Twitch are worth a lot more because a lot of the users coming in are dynamic versus YouTube, your views are what you get on the video. So in that sense, even though Twitch offers a lower CPM, I'm not justifying Twitch offering a lower CPM, by the way. I think it's bullshit. I think that Twitch should definitely offer more of their CPM to content creators. I just want to be very clear on that. I think that that's a if it's a very bad CPM, how is that okay? Is this because creators don't understand the business? Yeah, that's 100% it. It literally is that. Creators don't understand what they're losing, which is the case. The same thing with bits, and this is why bits and every time I see a thread that's made by Twitch support that's telling somebody something like this, I always just see the most brain dead responses because streamers don't understand the business. They don't understand how stuff works. So yeah, the exclusive reason why CPMs are so bad is because Twitch streamers don't understand how CPMs work. And they don't understand the difference between a dynamic and a flat CPM. They don't understand that they can go on YouTube and they can make different videos and get paid more or less depending on their content. But on Twitch, you can't do that. It's always the same. Like, this is why streamers, they ushered in the era of sub-gifting and they championed it. They said it was the best thing to happen to Twitch. This is amazing. Streamers can, like, we can gift subs now. They literally gave up 50% of their income overnight. Before that, it was all donations. The day that sub-gifting, we charted it, okay? We have a graph. The day that sub gifting got implemented, over the next 2 years, donations declined 80%. To this day. If you get a donation, the only thing that gets taken from you is the 1 to 3% fee for PayPal. If you get a sub gifted to you, you lose 50%. Maybe less if you have a good deal. So, bits are even worse than that. Bits are literally what could potentially be a donation and are not. Right. But subs are reoccurring? That is wrong. Gift subs are not reoccurring. We are not talking about tier 1 subs. Tier 1s are totally different. Tier 1 subs are great. Tier 1 subs are one of the only ways that you can rely on income as a broadcaster. It's monthly reoccurring revenue. Tier 1s are fantastic. Never going to hear me complaining about tier 1 subs. Prime subs and gifted subs are not reoccurring. And there is no evidence, and believe me, we have looked, right, to support that gifted subs increase the retention of people in the community. No evidence at all. Tier 2 and Tier 3 are also good. Tier 3, dude, Tier 3 is like, if you ever want to support a streamer, like, Tier 3 subs are fucking fantastic. All streamers get a better cut of Tier 3s than they do of anything else. And, like, so, Tier 3s, for example, I believe Tier 3s are $25. So, so, Tier 3 subs, you can get I believe it's like $18 that goes to the streamer. So we could just do the math, right? If you have like even 200 tier 3 subs or even 100 tier 3 subs, right? You're like making really good income and that's reliable. It sticks with you. So I love tier 3 subs. Yes. Tier 3 subs are fantastic. Tier 2 subs, fantastic. Tier 1 subs are fantastic. Absolutely. If you really care about a streamer and you think they're doing good work, do a tier 1 sub. Tier 2 sub, tier 3 sub.
Did you see that Amazon, Twitch made the Twitch ads self-serve? Twitch inventory is now available on the Amazon advertising.
Novovu, thank you. Oh, you finally found the link. We were looking for this earlier. Clap it up, dude. Novovu, huge. Insane. Thank you, man. Yes, I'm super glad this came up. Thank you for finding this link also. Because, yeah, this is massive. This is actually huge. Twitch joining Amazon advertising will increase the CPMs for Twitch by a huge... And might have actually been the reason why Twitch made this change. It doesn't mean that anyone can advertise. It just means that the list of brands that are within the Amazon ad network, which is vastly more than the people that are being sold on Twitch, is now available.
Thing, no end.
Basically meaning that there will be more of what's called a fill rate. Fill rate is like from 0 to 100% how many ads we have available for streamers. Right now, I'll link you guys in chat if you want to read it. Right now, the number of broadcasters on the website, if everybody ran ads, we would run out of ads to run. And then there would be some people that couldn't run ads. And this change will probably fix it. I think that Ninja made the wrong. Decision, for sure. So, to back this up, right? What I'm talking about is Ninja just made an announcement today that he is coming back to Twitch, and Ninja's announcement got him, I think it was like 100,000 viewers. He started off by streaming. I think he started playing Fall Guys, and then he played Among Us later. So right now, Ninja made this big announcement that he's coming back to Twitch, and then just a short time later, this has gotten pretty good engagement. This is 2.1 million views. He posted it 10 hours ago, started to stream a few hours later, chalked up like 100K on Fall Guys, and then switched to Among Us, where, as of the time of this talk, he's currently sitting at like 60,000 viewers. And so I made a video a while back that was called After the Mixer Stuff Happened and How Ninja and Shroud Got Out of Their Contracts. I did a video that was how Ninja and Shroud landed the best deal in live streaming history. And that video was basically about Shroud is going to dominate Twitch, right? And I predicted almost 100% that Shroud would go back to Twitch because his audience is there. He's like a god at FPS games. People want to watch that kind of content. And it's just the logical move, right? But Ninja was kind of a different situation. When Ninja left Twitch, Ninja was on the decline. He went to Mixer and he stayed pretty small relative to where he was at before. But what people sleep on with Ninja is Ninja's power is actually off Twitch as a platform. And Ninja has about 24 million subscribers on YouTube, and his videos are very successful. So I actually thought that Ninja's best move would be to go to YouTube, where the Fortnite crowd is still very active. He oftentimes gets many videos that are over 1 million views. He can also play other games, so this is him getting about 1 million views on a Fall Guys video. He is kind of an authority here on FPS games, and he appeals very much so to that younger audience. Him streaming on YouTube would have been such a massive comeback compared to him streaming on Twitch, and I'm trying to think through his business decision to go onto Twitch because I predicted that he was going to go onto YouTube. And the reason for that is because it just made every sense to me that he would do that based on his, like just analyzing where his business is. So it's really weird to me that he would go back to Twitch. And the only reason I can think of it is either Twitch paid him to do it, but it doesn't seem very likely because I don't think that Twitch is really incentivized to make a platform deal for Ninja at this point, because they knew that his only option really was to be there or YouTube anyway. Add that Twitch already had a platform deal with Ninja. Mixer had the platform deal. So if they offer, and so to be really clear, I actually don't know on the back end if he got offered a platform deal or not. By which I mean that like Twitch paid him to be on Twitch as an exclusive broadcaster. Part of me kind of, like when he says a new chapter only on Twitch, part of me kind of makes me think that this could have been a platform deal. If it was, I think that it was a lower value contract. So we're not talking in the tens of millions of dollars, right? Maybe this contract was like a couple $1 million. Relative to what his net worth is, this wouldn't have been a significant factor in making a decision to go to Twitch. I think he thinks that he can build his brand on Twitch as a platform. I don't think that's right. So it's not to say that, like, LOL, Ninja's going to be a dying streamer. And by no means is this like a takedown talk or anything like that. I've long talked about Ninja being an incredibly successful content creator, and I think that he's put the work in. He's been making videos for over 10 years. He's enormously successful. He's one of the only gamers that's actually bridged the gap, the chasm between the sort of normalized market of gamers and non-gamers, like going on Ellen and Leno and everything. But that said, I don't think that Twitch is the very best place for him to live as a brand to grow in the future. I think it's almost certainly YouTube. We've seen YouTube people get, like people like Laserbeam, who stream very similar content like Fortnite. They can get up to 900,000 concurrents. I think that Ninja could have established himself as the authority when Epic Games does an update. for new games that are coming out that are like BRs. And I don't think he should be competing across the board 1-to-1 with Shroud on Twitch. I don't think he's going to win that fight. I just don't think that Ninja's content in the way that it's evolving is going to be great for what the ecosystem of Twitch is right now. And we already saw that in the comeback, right? Like Ninja came back and had like 100 viewer cap. 100, that would be terrible. 100,000 viewers capped. It might sound like a lot to you and me or whatever, but compare that to Shroud's returns, 400,000 viewers, right? And Shroud still is like, basically you can just tell that Shroud, as of the time of like this talk, right? Shroud's basically just streaming whatever the hell he wants, and he's still getting really, really great viewership because he's just so good. He plays a ton of DayZ. He plays a ton of like weird little games. He does some just chatting, kind of does whatever he wants. And both of these guys are in a position where they can just destroy it. They don't need to worry about anything whatsoever. I mean, they're totally cool, right? These guys are both in their late 20s, like early to mid 20s, and they're both like at least worth 20 mil each, right? So we're not talking about people that are making financial decisions in the same way that a lot of the top content creators are, because both Ninja and Shroud are just on a different level than anyone else is by such a vast margin. The only reason that I could think that Ninja would be returning to Twitch is he might feel like collaborative stuff is stronger on the platform than it is on YouTube. Even that, though, I'm not sure that's true, as there's a lot of very prominent broadcasters who are doing incredibly well on YouTube. So people like Courage, people like Valkyrie are succeeding at a really high level. I don't even think that that's a factor, really. It's just kind of a mystery to me why Ninja would make this decision to go back to Twitch. It seems to me that he kind of, either he got offered a platform deal that was compelling enough to push him over for YouTube, or he just, his management team just doesn't recognize how powerful YouTube is. And that's probably the most likely scenario. That like he might. So I'm not even sure. Did he try to make a YouTube stream? Did he try YouTube streaming for a bit while he was kind of in between? People are saying he did. And how did he do? How did he tried like one YouTube stream, right? And he pulled, yeah, so he had 135K viewer peak on YouTube, which was higher than his peak on Twitch, which is like his home platform. And he didn't even announce the stream. So unannounced stream, 135K. First stream back to Twitch, 100K. Someone in chat says the most likely scenario is he just likes Twitch and can do whatever the hell he wants. Yeah, I think that's actually what I said this morning when I got this news. It didn't strike me as something that was like this big dramatic business decision that was like made with like a lot of information behind it. I think this guy just doesn't give a shit. He got out of a contract with Mixer for $30 million or whatever it was, and he's just good. He feels like Twitch is probably better culturally for him, that he identifies with it more. Go to Twitch. And he might not just be interested in... And that's why I'm saying, like, people at this level are just thinking different about the way that they do things. And maybe his core, what we would call KPI, like key performance indicators, like maybe it's more based on the community he develops. Maybe because he was on Mixer, he's kind of gotten used to having smaller communities, and he's cool with it's like, okay, like I think Ninja ends up somewhere around 20 to 30K on Twitch, which isn't like really far off from like where he was at for a long time on Twitch. So he might just be chill with it, and that's the end of it. There's no like real huge business decision. We're kind of just seeing like, and for that reason, from a marketing perspective, I don't think we can look at Ninja and Shroud as like great examples of like what top content creators should do, because they're just on another level of consideration, right? Even the top content creators on Twitch, like XQC consistently landing 60,000 viewers, which he has been lately, they're just nowhere near the financial stability that Shroud and Ninja have, because Shroud and Ninja did platform deals. And you'll always... So this is a really cool thing. This wouldn't be a talk unless I pull out a notepad. but just to write down something that I think will stick with people, you will always, always, always make more money off platform and rights deals in esports, gaming, wherever, than you will on your individual branding. So look at the sale of Call of Duty esports. Was it Activision's sale to YouTube? Am I getting that right? I always forget where these esports are moving to. The sale that I'm talking about, the one that Activision, the rights they sold, it was either Overwatch or CDL or both. I believe they sold rights to YouTube this year. That was a $90 million deal, right? So Activision equals $90 million. So this deal wasn't actually concerning any influencers or anything like that. This was just the rights to broadcast CDL or OWL on YouTube exclusively. That's where the money actually is, and that's where the money is in sports. So what is the most expensive thing that traditional sports can sell? It's literally the broadcasting rights. It's where does the NFL appear? What channel gets the right to broadcast and stream? And we haven't seen that a lot, but that's like the next step for someone like Austin, like the Austin show. You kind of saw that a little bit with the partnership with Venn. I don't actually know if there was a monetary component there. I'm sure there was. But that's where the real money and the millions and millions of dollars are going to get. Like for individual people, doing platform deals is where the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars are going to be. And the only two people to actually reach the chasm in any significant way, there are other broadcasters who have gotten platform deals, but all of those are like $100,000 from Facebook, maybe $1 million here and there. And like you might say, wow, like an individual, like Disguised Toast probably got a pretty good deal for going to Facebook Gaming, for example. I'd guess it's probably in the $1.3 to $1.5 million range. So that's nice for a single person, right? But for a person's broadcasting rights like Austin's Show's show that hit 135,000 people with Dream as the guest, that show, those broadcasting rights, that's worth many, many millions of dollars, right? $15 million, $20 million, $30 million for a year of broadcasting those shows. That's where the future is going to be. It's going to be in broadcasting rights. Broadcasting rights are always more valuable than individual brands or platform deals because the ability for a entity to own something exclusively is always going to be massive because then they can sell advertising against it. They can sell sponsorships against it. If you know that the NFL is going to appear on ESPN only, then you make all the money off of the commercials, all the advertisements. So owning the rights to that show, owning the broadcasting rights to that show are like a massive deal. And Ninja and Shroud are sort of the first people to kind of pass through that barrier, that sort of spiritual barrier. They're not the last. Austin's show is on the way. I think eventually shows like the Trainwrecks podcast, especially with like smart people at the helm that are managing those, they will be along those lines as well. Any kind of pre-produced shows. And you might actually be surprised to see people like Arcadum or any kind of like Critical Role or pre-produced shows that I think are they're gonna enter into that. So maybe we're just looking at kind of like a post. I say a sort of like an after action report with Ninja, where really this is just him returning to a platform that he loves, and he's not gonna sweat. Like, sure, could you have a 30 or 40 or 50 or 100% bigger stream on YouTube? Yeah, you could. Does it really? Do you really care? Right? Given everything that you've got, and that you're still comparatively very early in your career, like it's really interesting to think about like what Ninja and Shroud are gonna be doing in 10 years. In 10 years, they're gonna be like 36. That's nothing. You're not even like you're a third through your life. They've got so much more time and so much more to do. So seeing how these brands evolve and develop, like they probably know that, and they're probably thinking more long term. It's interesting. And those are my thoughts on Ninja. I don't think that there's like a big, and this is like to some extent one of the reasons why I wasn't sure if I was going to cover this or not, because I don't think that there's like a really big compelling reason why Ninja didn't make the decision to go to YouTube versus Twitch. I think it's probably just a personal decision. I do think that Ninja could have been much more successful on YouTube, and there's plenty of evidence at this point of that. Plenty of evidence at that point that this is like that like you could join YouTube and there would be way more growth. Just look at Laserbeam, Courage JD, like hitting 250,000 viewers, things like that. So, just to leave it, people that are joining YouTube, even as much smaller brands, seem to just be catapulting to greater heights and like just making it. But that's it. That's my talk. That's why I think Ninja moved to Twitch and sort of the implications of it, where Shroud and Ninja are at. I guess it was kind of interesting, huh? I think we did a good job. So thanks guys for coming. That's the end of that talk. We're gonna do some stuff after this, but if you are catching this on VOD or you're catching this on YouTube, toss me a follow on my Twitch stream at Devin Nash, and also toss me a subscription if you would. We're almost, I'm trying to push for 100K by the end of the year. It'd be really nice if we get it. I think right now we're at 87, 81, whoops. So we're way further out than I thought we were, but we're at about 19K. So at this trajectory, we should get there. So subscriptions matter a lot, and like having a silver play button would feel really good. Appreciate it.
longer content to create a product that was merely great. Instead, they made Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. It's been a year since DK and Diddy chased the Kremlings off of Donkey Kong Island and took back the Banana Horde. But K. Rool has been licking his wounds, and he's got a new plan. He catches Donkey Kong sleeping and leaves behind a ransom note. If you yellow-bellied, land-loving Kongs want DK back, you'll have to hand over the Banana Horde. Yeah, the Kremlings are pirates now. When the Kongs discover this plot, Cranky wants to acquiesce. Not that he's past his prime, he just want to be caught dead in a game with bonus levels and in-bosses. Hey, you're leaning on the fourth wall a little hard there, Cranky. Might take you a decade or two, but you'll come around. But the point stands. Without Donkey Kong, there really isn't anyone with the credibility to take down K. Rool. Except, Diddy knows that DK would hate to lose his horde again. And more than that, this could be a chance to prove himself. Diddy was a sidekick last time and also ran, dare I say, a wannabe. But if he could save Donkey Kong and thwart K. Rool's scheme, he'd be a hero in his own right. On the surface, this seems like a pretty typical excuse plot for a video game. The villains kidnap someone, the main character has to rescue him. But remember, Donkey Kong was the face of the first game, and one of the most famous names in the industry. Diddy, on the other hand, was Rare's creation, and his story mirrors might have been the designated second banana, but he was also the flat-out better character in all but a handful of situations. He was more nimble than DK, he held barrels as a shield, he ran a lot faster. There's rarely a time when I don't prefer him. From a gameplay perspective, Dixie inherits a lot of Donkey Kong's attributes. She's not as quick as Diddy, and she carries barrels overhead with her ponytail. How are you doing that? The level design and enemy placement allows for a lot more situations where this overhead style comes in handy. But of course, most famously, Dixie has got that helicopter-y hair thing. This controllable glide makes things so much easier. There are plenty of places only she can go, and plenty of shortcuts only she can take. But don't think this makes her partner superfluous. This is distinctly Diddy's game, and his kinetic, frantic speed is at the center of this design, much more so than the other games in the trilogy. Having that second character feels even less like a free hit. Diddy and Dixie also have a team throw that can be used to reach hidden areas and take down some tough enemies. The two playable characters each have their own strengths. They each have scores of situations where one might be preferable, and they complement each other incredibly well. I mean, they should. They are dating. I forgot to mention that. After Candy Kong was so, exaggerated, you might not have expected Rare to pull this off. But Dixie is awesome. I mean, to this day, she's my favorite heroine in gaming, and Rare knew exactly what they were doing. That she's Diddy's girlfriend, that she's a girl at all, is an attribute. It's secondary to her character, and that's the kind of thing that still might be pretty subversive. Determined, insistent, and maybe a little more scared than they're letting on, the pair set out to rescue their big buddy, but it won't be easy. Donkey and Diddy had the home field advantage in DKC, but K. Rool's retreated to the Kremling homeland, Crocodile Isle. The uneasy, unfamiliar sense of infringing on enemy territory permeates throughout, and combined with the pirate motif, it gives DKC2 an edge that the first game didn't have. It's generally darker, yes, you hear that all the time, but I don't feel like that conveys how imaginative Crocodile Isle is. The Kremlings are a conquest, you run left to right in the first level. Classic simple level is so kills through me. Pop out of seemingly innocuous barrels. Cutlass makes you parry his sword. Clingers harry your ascent, and zingers are absolutely terrifying. Seriously, just hearing that low droning buzz still sends chills through me. Diddy's Conquest strikes an impressive balance. Compared to its predecessor, it's more fair and yet far more challenging. But hey, the Kongs still have plenty of help. Rambi and Ingard return, and both of them can now charge forward, breaking through hidden walls and piercing enemy defenses. Glimmer takes over lighting duties, and Clapper similarly shows up as a gimmick to cool off lava and freeze over water. Espresso and his weird hitboxes are gone, and in his place, Squawks can properly take to the skies. Winky, sadly, appears only in the back of the Monkey Museum and is replaced by Rattle. Winky's design might not have worked well with a super jump, and I suppose Rattly's coil is a lot more visually precise. But Squitter more than makes up for losing Winky. He's the only spider I've ever liked, and he's so much fun. He can't jump on enemies, so he fires webs to take him down instead. And he can deploy web platforms that make his stages feel completely different from the others. Animal Buddies in DKC were a lot of fun, but they had some setbacks. They stuck a little too close to Yoshi's formula. You could lose them, and that meant that the levels couldn't be crafted with the guarantee that they would be there. Early on in DKC2, when you're still getting your bearings, they operate in much the same way, but then you find one of these, animal barrels. Hop in, and instead of just riding an animal, Diddy and Dixie will transform. In a game that doesn't focus on traditional power-ups, this makes so much more sense than the Yoshi approach. Combined with signposts that revert the Kongs back to normal, Rare could now theme challenges, bonus rooms, or even entire stages around the unique attributes the animal buddies bring. They're a much stronger aspect of the design this time around. And speaking of which, let's talk collectibles. The extended Kong family makes the trek to Crocodile Isle with you, but they want to be compensated for their time. Banana coins let you pay them for their services. Swinky runs a trivia game where you can earn lives. Candy's save point is hilariously replaced by Cranky's wife, a sweet old grandmother type named Wrinkly. Funky is still a dude, and Cranky provides his signature humor, gives you clues to where bonus stages are, and best of all, his hints extend past World 1 this time. In the first game, bonus stages were just that, a bonus. Secret areas where you got some extra stuff. But now, not only are they hidden more cleverly, they're achievements unto themselves. You'll need to overcome specific challenges, navigate to the end, destroy all the enemies, collect all the stars. This is so much more interesting than just running through a cave and getting some bananas. Every time you pass one, you'll get a Crim coin. And thanks to that, there's actually a real purpose to bonus rooms, because for every 15 Crim coins, you'll be able to bribe a Crimling turncoat named Clubba to gain access to the Lost World. It contains some of the toughest stages in the game and leads to the true ending. The location of the bonus stages are always hinted at. The camera, the banana trail, something will clue you in. But that's not always the case when it comes to the video game hero coins. There's one in every stage, placed by Cranky to test just how serious Diddy is about making a name for himself. And this being Cranky, they tend to be in the douchiest, most non-intuitive places imaginable. It's very oblique, and I love them. I mean, if hero coins factored more into the end goal of the game, I might criticize them as a fairly transparent attempt to sell more strategy guides. And honestly, they probably were that to an extent, but they're also a reward for the truly dedicated players who want to ensure that Diddy is a better character than whoever this guy is. And if the levels themselves were going to be so much more varied, the soundtrack would have to follow suit. David Wise returns to provide the score, and I love this man. He absolutely outdoes himself. Cinematic soundtracks in movies or TV shows are usually meant to evoke or enliven a mood. Video game music, on the other hand, was much more concerned with providing a strong, sharp melody to highlight the action, especially back then. But David Wise expertly integrates the best of both styles, and it is absolute genius. There's plenty I haven't even talked about here. The bosses are so much more complex and fun. The graphics are a huge step up, and I still think they look good. I love the way the end level and death music changes depending on the stage. The animation that plays when you stand still in a team-up. The way you can see DK Island in the map background. I love Bramble Scramble. Bramble Scramble is a stage that comes about halfway through the quest. It's the point where the developers stop screwing around. It's one of the longest, toughest, most frustrating stages in the entire game. The slightest wrong move will kill you. But the music evokes something totally different. It starts out slow and serene. It helps you stay calm and focused while you're building the skills you'll need to make it out of here. And eventually, it all builds to a dramatic crescendo that perfectly encapsulates how it feels to overcome such a seemingly impossible challenge. This music should be such a contrast, yet it's a perfect fit. Yeah, that's a fitting metaphor. You never would have found yourself making your way through a honey-filled beehive on the back of a giant googly-eyed spider in the first game. DKC was so concerned with maintaining a sense of realism. But in DKC2, this is all natural. Yeah, why wouldn't this be here? Things as innocuous as magical rising water, as disruptive as animal transformation barrels, and as awesome as Dixie spawning a guitar. The biggest reason Diddy's Conquest is so much stronger than DKC is because it's so much more of a video game. Now, this is the point in the video where I apply some subjectivity and lay out the game's flaws. But you know what? I can't do that here. Any point I could raise would be
Yeah, I was trying to see if there was a graphics comparison, cause, or I don't know, I think it's weird that, I think Dixie Kong looks better than Diddy. Diddy has these weird glitches.
Hey everyone, I'm Michael Swaim here with Brian Altano, and I wanted to unpack a little further the big shakeup yesterday with Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax Studios, parent company of Bethesda and many others. We have a great piece by Ryan McCaffrey at IGN.com about the 5 biggest takeaways of that merger. But a minor update on the story today. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella has said the company is not necessarily done buying, and they will always consider the acquisition of further game companies, quote, when it makes sense. What I sort of wanted to unpack was what seems to be a doubling down on and a consistent messaging as far as Xbox considering itself more of a service and a platform than just a home for single games to be sold and for the transaction to end there. Brian, how does this fold into the narrative as we approach the next gen launch?
Well, it means that they're buying Sega. Twitter user Jamie Nero uncovered a vast, irrefutable conspiracy theory that Microsoft could be buying Sega, and I think the facts are hard and true.
Okay, calm down. Brian, explain yourself.
Okay. Twitter user Jamie Nero has uncovered a vast, irrefutable conspiracy that Microsoft will acquire the entire company of Sega, including Sonic and everything else underneath it. Let's start with this. Sega's official Twitter tweeted a photo of a woman with her arms making an X sign in front of a box.
Meaning?
Heard of that?
Well, I am so Xbox. I understand. Why are you taking our IGN now in this direction, Brian? I'm upset.
I'll continue. I will continue.
Okay. It seems like you will.
Yes, Microsoft tweeted a photo of a blue controller with the words "clean and simple, still iconic." Now, if you remove the S from still and the onic from iconic, you get Sonic, as Jamie Nero points out. That color is blue. The swatch of that color is 094CA, the exact same blue color swatch as the Sega logo and Sonic himself.
Okay, that one's kind of interesting, actually.
The controller is called the Shock Blue.
Right.
Sonic wears running shoes. Adidas has a running shoe called the Sonic.
Okay. But a lot of these are kind of a stretch. Like, you know, the God of War Ragnarok teaser had that blue loop. Sonic runs through loops and is blue. You could say Sony is going to buy Sega.
You could.
Right?
But
if you don't have 2 or 3 more pieces of evidence, frankly, I don't believe you.
Sonic is small and fuzzy, micro and soft.
I enjoy it.
There was a man that wore a Sonic shirt in the August Xbox event.
Okay, I know we're reporting on this because it's a rumor that has been blowing up all day and really is being widely spread around the internet. But frankly, you're driving me nuts, man.
The button you push on your console to get it to connect to the system, the small circle with the lines behind it, looks exactly like a Sonic spinball moving in motion.
I'm pretty sure that's the button you just used to pair your controller to your console.
Sega owns Kid Chameleon, and Microsoft owns the Controller Design Labs, which allows you to control your controller in any single color you want in customization, sort of like a chameleon.
Okay, so we're off the Sonic trend. So
Sonic is all internet company, a very popular internet company. Microsoft created Internet Explorer, and Microsoft has been pushing an always online philosophy for their Xboxes for a long time, including the Series S, which is always online. And S, my friend, is the only letter you can use to start the words Sega and Sonic.
Okay, let's say devil's advocate, which I'm not admitting to. I buy into this crazy theory. I mean, what would that mean? Microsoft buying Sega? Why Sega?
They have Sonic, they have Knuckles. There's a lot of really great stuff they could do with all that.
Agreed. So yet again, we're talking about Xbox sort of building out their ecosystem to bring gamers in, and that seems to have been their long-term strategy, right? Do you genuinely think that they're going to pursue that with more acquisitions in the near future?
I believe so. I think that, for example, Monkey Ball is priceless. You can't put a price on Billy Hatcher and his egg.
I don't remember any details of that game, but I recognize it as a funny game to reference. So points to you. I tried to get us back on the track. I couldn't do it, but we did discuss a rumor that's out there. So in case you haven't heard, people think Microsoft is going to buy Sega. People like Brian. Sega. Don't be like Brian. We'll be back with more substantive news next time on IGN Now.
I got some water plants. Sven is not turning. Right.
Alright, I'm gonna get going. Going to bed. Well, make sure to check out my Twitch stream. That should be happening later today or late in the evening. Stream on Twitch at OnlySonic is the name. Twitch.tv/OnlySonic. Thanks to whoever hung out. And see y'all later.